views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Coming up next, Bronxites react to an attack in a city park. Hurricane Maria evacuees helping others navigate life in their new city. Latin jazz and a Yankee legend with his guitar come to Lehman College. All that and more. This is the Bronx Journal. Hello and welcome to the Bronx Journal. I'm Jim Carney. The Bronx Journal is a collaborative production of Lehman College's Journalism and Media Studies Department, the Lehman Multimedia Production Center, and BronxNet Community Television. We bring you the research and reporting of Lehman students, as well as the work from music, art, and other programs of study here at Lehman College. Lehman is the Bronx's senior liberal arts college of the City University of New York. This program is presented through the combined efforts of Lehman and BronxNet Community TV, the Bronx's award-winning community television and media organization, and comes to you via BronxNet's cable TV channels and is streamed on demand through bronxnet.org and thebronxjournal.com. And the audio portion of today's show is available through the Lehman College channel on tuneinradio.com and the TuneIn app. The reporting and work on the Bronx Journal is created by the students of Lehman College. We begin today with outrage in the parks. On October 14th, an 11-year-old girl was raped in the bathroom of the Hilton White Park on Caldwell Avenue and East 163rd Street. According to the NYPD, in 2017, there were 26 rapes in New York City parks. In January through September of this year, there were 20 incidents. Bronx Journal reporter Yanira's Monegro spoke to Bronx residents about how safe they feel in the borough parks.
It's terrifying to hear something like that, especially knowing that I have a daughter and nieces as well. I feel like more parents should be able to take their kids to school. I feel like at 11 years old, you shouldn't be walking home by yourself. Parents should be more involved in that.
Yo no confío.
¿Usted no confía?
No confío. Imagínate, eso da tristeza y todo, porque todos los que tenemos hijos, nos condolemos de eso. Me asusté.
You cannot blame NYPD, you have to watch your own children.
Porque no podemos permitir mandar los niños a los parques y nosotros quedarnos sentados en la casa mirando televisión. Debemos, si mandamos a nuestros hijos a los parques, estar con ellos, porque la responsabilidad es de nosotros los padres, no de la ciudad.
Algunas veces me ha tocado la oportunidad de pasar por aquí de noche y a mi parecer hace falta buena iluminación. Y fíjese que donde no hay iluminación siempre se hace fácil que cualquier persona malintencionada que pueda hacer un daño. De las policías frecuenten más por aquí.
Yanira now joins me in the studio. Let's talk a little bit about the people you spoke to in the park. What was their reaction when you told them what happened in the park?
Overall, there was a great concern with parents and the safety. They feel there's not much safety in the parks in the Bronx.
Mm-hmm. What in your reporting, what did the data show in terms of crime in city parks? Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? What's happening?
The NYPD crime statistics shows that there has been an increase in crimes, in felony crimes. This has increased throughout the years. In 2015, it went from 488 incidents reported to 612 in 2016. And this number even rose higher in 2017. Reported incidents were 670. This number has been consistent this year, but however, we have seen an increase with property crimes like robbery in parks this year.
Well, who's responsible for security in the parks?
That's an interesting question. The Parks and Recreation has their own patrol that reinforce regulations and rules of the parks. These officers can issue summonses and they can even make arrests. But their primary responsibility is to keep the rules of the parks. For this reason, the Parks and Recreation says that the primary agency that's responsible for security is the NYPD. I spoke to an officer retired officers that work for community affairs in the Bronx for 21 years. He says there's often a miscommunication and this tension between the two agencies as to who is responsible for the safety of the residents of parks.
Okay, the specific incident we're talking about that triggered all that, what happened with that incident with the young girl?
The suspect, a 16-year-old, just 2 weeks after the incident, committed suicide. Yes.
So what's the overall sense of safety in the parks then? Should New Yorkers feel safe about going into there and enjoying the parks?
I spoke to a mother who says that she takes her children to parks in Manhattan, and she resides in the Bronx because she feels there's more security. She sees more officers in Manhattan. So she prefers to ride to another borough. So there is a misconnection, and overall all parents show concern. When some parents knew about this incident, some didn't, but they were very concerned about their safety of their kids.
Okay, Generis Monegro, thank you very much for your reporting. And to check out more of this reporting, you can go to thebronxjournal.com. When we return, we'll be joined by a community organizer who is finding homes for Puerto Ricans displaced by last year's Hurricane Maria. So stay with us. As we go to the break, though, here are some festive sights of the season through the Bronx Journal photojournalist's lenses.
We are there, day one, with baby names and a gift that lasts a lifetime. We are there as you grow, protecting you and those you love. And we are there as you start your next chapter. We are with you through life's journey. We are Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. Get to know us at socialsecurity.gov.
This video produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Well, I got this as a paid internship. Spending my time here, I really enjoyed the people that work here. I enjoy what goes on behind the scenes.
So far, I've learned how to operate a camera, how to host. I learned how to control audio.
My first time hosting was really nerve-wracking, but I really enjoyed it because it was a new experience.
Welcome back to the Bronx Journal. I'm Jim Carney. It's been more than a year since Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico and sent thousands of displaced people to the Bronx. Reporters Mateo Rojas Lingue and Ariel K. Itaba caught up with one of those new arrivals who's working for change here and on the island.
We're here to interview the activist, Rafael Ocasio, who comes from Puerto Rico to help out the organization Nos Quedamos.
Rafael Ocasio Barreto is a community organizer and environmental advocate for Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican diaspora. He works at the nonprofit organization Nos Quedamos, We Stay.
Mis funciones aquí son coordinador de liderato comunitario y el fin es pues, llevarle el conocimiento a la comunidad de lo que está sucediendo, cómo organizarse y luchar por sus derechos.
Rafael Ocasio was one of the victims of Hurricane Maria. He decided to relocate to New York 2 weeks after the disaster and start working at Nos Quedamos to help those displaced to the city and the people that stayed back home.
Luego del huracán, pues, las cosas estuvieron más complicadas, nos vimos sin electricidad, sin agua y muy poca comida en lo que era el área de San Juan. Cuando pisé Nueva York vine directamente aquí, a State nos quedamos, porque los había conocido en el 2015 en Puerto Rico, en una visita que nos hicieron. Y llegué pues, dado a la necesidad de enviar provisiones a Puerto Rico, ayudar a obtener esas provisiones y enviarlas a Puerto Rico.
Nos Quedamos was founded by Yolanda Garcia in 1993 in order to resist large-scale urban renewal plans that would displace residents of Melrose and the Bronx. Ana Melendez is the Chief Program Officer at this organization.
Nos Quedamos is a community development corporation. We're a nonprofit organization that's worked in the Melrose community for over 25 years. A lot of the work that we've engaged in is the redevelopment of the South Bronx. During the time when the South Bronx was burning, this happened to be the area, the last area to be redeveloped. And when the city decided that they would redevelop it, they had a plan that would have further displace those who had been displaced through the fires.
At Nos Quedamos, Rafael wants to share his knowledge with displaced Puerto Ricans that arrived to a new city. Adaptation to New York can be a difficult process.
Algo tan simple para uno, pero es complicado para nosotros porque desconocemos la ciudad de Nueva York. Es qué trenes tomar o qué bus pueden tomar para llegar a alguno de los lugares. Cuando yo llegué, yo tenía que estar acompañado de una persona que hubiese vivido aquí para yo aprender cómo moverme en la ciudad de Nueva York. Y me perdí en un sinnúmero de ocasiones.
Mr. Ocasio is fighting to rebuild Puerto Rico, 1 year after a disaster that cost the lives of thousands of people and the infrastructure of an entire territory.
Para ayudar en Puerto Rico, recursos en todos los sentidos, económicos, materiales, salud. Algo muy importante en el área de salud, psicólogos, psiquiatras, trabajadores sociales, organizaciones que tengan mucha conciencia de cómo ayudar a la gente.
I'm Ariel Caitaba.
I'm Mateo Rojas Alingue, reporting for BronxNet.
Welcome back to the Bronx Journal. My name is Robert Pena. The needs in Puerto Rico are significant and ongoing. I'm here with Lila Mejia and Merle Halls from the New York Disaster Interface Services, who are using newly earmarked state funding to help some of those thousands of new arrivals get integrated and adjusted to new life here. Welcome. Okay, so to my left I have Lila Mejia, case management supervisor, and to my right I have Merle Halsey, client services manager from NIDIS. Welcome to the show. Okay, Lila, your organization runs disaster response recovery services in New York City, but you also work with people along the initial event. Can you tell us what work you're doing now?
Yeah, so back in when this hurricane happened, New York City opened a service center in the Julia de Burgos, and NIDIS was tasked with doing the exit interview. So basically what we did is when families came in, we asked them how their experience was, and we maintained contact with them. The city closed that down in February, and NIDIS decided to remain open at a nearby church, a marketplace, and where we continue to provide clothing, financial assistance, referrals, and other work. And so that's where our work started with evacuees, up until now with case management services.
Okay. Governor Cuomo recently set aside new funding for post-Hurricane Maria assistance, and NIDIS is one of the organizations funded. What will this funding help you do?
So NIDIS was one of the organizations that was funded along with Catholic Charities, Union Health Plan, Urban Health Plan, and several others that will be providing housing services. So NIDIS was tasked with doing disaster case management. We've been able to hire 3 new disaster case managers who are responsible for connecting clients to wraparound resources and access to direct funding as well. We also got a contract to do case coordination, which is to provide pre-screening and assessments for all of these families. Right now, we're able to contact about 2,500 evacuee households that we know have some type of need.
Okay. What challenges are evacuees facing? What are the obstacles to getting started in a new life in New York?
I think the main challenge is housing. Then comes work, the language, the climates. Our families are facing a city that it's been difficult to navigate, you know, and so we've been working extremely hard to assist our families in obtaining housing. As you know, New York City suffers from lack of housing, affordable housing at that. So we're just trying our best to make sure that we can help out.
Okay. Out of the total numbers of evacuees in New York, Merle, how many were served by NIDIS last year and this year?
So combined, we've been able to give some sort of direct funding to 761 families, which is just over 1,500 individuals. We know that there is more need out there, and we do have funding remaining through what we call the Unmet Needs Roundtable. And this is a NIDIS administered fund that is currently funded in part through the Salvation Army and the United Methodist Committee on Relief. So we have been giving clients access to winter clothing, Metro cards, assistance paying medical costs, and we do sustainable recovery assistance as well to help families get into long-term housing and job placement.
Okay. Can you break down the details? Is there money for direct aid, for housing, food, or for job training?
Yeah, so like I said, there is funding for housing, and that includes broker fees, first month's rent, security deposits. We can pay last month's rent for clients that might have a low credit score or no credit history that are trying to move to the city. We can also pay for new furniture. We can pay any sort of storm-related credit card debt that clients had acquired, job licensing fees as well. And the majority of our clients right now are in the Bronx, so that's where our primary operations are.
Okay, what do you see as the challenges for these New Yorkers going forward, and what should New York State and New York City be doing to help?
I think the city and state could work together in implementing a pool of money for families who are being displaced. As we see with the current climate going on, hurricanes are happening more and more, and people are coming to New York City. Just because New York City is a melting pot. We saw it with Hurricane Katrina, we saw it with Haiti, and now we're seeing it with Hurricane Maria and Irma. It's not just families from Puerto Rico, we're dealing with families from the British Virgin Islands as well. If there was money set aside for these families, I think that we'd be able to assist them better.
Reporting on the displacement issue, check out thebronxjournal.com. When we return, we pay a visit to the 10th annual Johnny Pacheco Latin Music and Jazz Festival. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Bronx Journal. I'm Jim Carney. Recently, the Johnny Pacheco Latin Music and Jazz Festival returned to Lehman College's campus for its 10th annual celebration. The festival brings together high school and college musicians with world-class masters of Latin music and jazz. The Bronx Journal's Barbara Sam was there.
The Johnny Pacheco Latin Music and Jazz Festival, in partnership with Lehman College, is an annual event that is open to the community. The three-day festival is celebrating its 10th anniversary and is supporting the fundraising initiative of Lehman College Disaster Relief Fund to assist with the Puerto Rico recovery from Hurricane Maria. BronxNet Community Television live-streamed the entire event to a worldwide audience. Over the course of several days, high school and college students participate in a master workshop where they're taught and trained by professional performers. Nicole Flores, who is inspired by Louis Armstrong, started playing the trumpet after joining band in the 6th grade. She describes the intensity of the workshops and preparations for the live performance.
It's like 2 days a week, and sometimes it's really hectic and I have to put like my own time into it, but it's something I love. It's not like busy work. You get techniques from so many different types of people, and it's like free education, and they're just them being humble and just them being the great musicians they are spreading the knowledge, and it's just great.
Lehman senior Daniel Silva plays the violin, piano, and guitar and draws inspiration from Jimi Hendrix, Albert King, and John Coltrane. He provides insight of his experience learning from professional musicians during the master class.
Just playing with them, as when I first learned with my uncle growing up, they just raise your level of musicality, and there's a deeper sense of appreciating the music also.
Alan Monar, the producer and artistic director, created this culture event to celebrate Latin and jazz music. Associate festival producer Robert Winbow teaches electronic guitar at Lehman, speaks about his excitement of being involved in the festival and seeing young students learning.
Alan had this festival going, and it was such a great idea to bring people in the whole Bronx area together for this, great music, Latin music and jazz, and having young people playing it, seeing young people carry on the traditions and find their own voices in this music. So when Alan asked me to be a part of it, it was more like, why didn't you ask me yesterday? It was something I really was very excited about. The students in the workshops and in these situations where they're able to play with name artists. This year we have Mike Maneri, and Connie, and Bernie Williams. It's an invaluable experience.
Yankee legend Bernie Williams, an accomplished jazz guitarist in his own right, not only performed but sat in with students to rehearse before the show.
It's really important for me to give back to the community through music because I think music is such a powerful force. It can unify us as a community. I think, I grew up listening to music, and it's part of my DNA. Listening to all the Latin music growing up in Puerto Rico. I think, one of the ways that I can relate to, to the community is just by, playing music and sharing my music and listening and being supportive of things that are, supporting music, especially for kids. Playing music is fun. And I think, if you can be inspired to play with somebody along that could make you think about different things, as far as music, improvisation and different ideas that you can get in your mind, learning from other people. I think that's probably going to be a cool thing. And just, be able to contribute and be a part of the community and just inspire some kids and some adults, to listen to. And I think it's going to be a great time.
The grand finale performance included the Lehman College Jazz Ensemble under the direction of Alan Monar, Lehman College Guitar Ensemble, along with former New York Yankees and Latin Grammy-nominated artist Bernie Williams, Dominican singer-songwriter Enzo Tavis, on flute Connie Grossman. She has performed at Carnegie Hall and Lincoln Center. Director Alan Monar, and vibraphonist Mike Maneri, who performed with legendary artists such as Billie Holiday and Dizzy Gillespie. The Johnny Pacheco Latin Music and Jazz Festival provides learning and performance opportunities for young musicians throughout New York. I'm Barbara Sam reporting for the Bronx Journal.
Thanks, Barbara. Well, that does it for this edition and this season of the Bronx Journal. The Bronx Journal is a collaborative production of Lehman College's Journalism and Media Studies Department, the Lehman Multimedia Production Center, and BronxNet Community Television. We bring you the research and reporting of Lehman students, as well as the work from the music, art, and other programs of study here at the college. Lehman is the Bronx's senior liberal arts college of the City University of New York. This program is presented through the combined efforts of Lehman and BronxNet Community TV, the Bronx's award-winning community television and media organization, and comes to you via BronxNet's cable TV channels and is streamed on demand through bronxnet.org and thebronxjournal.com. The audio portion of today's show is available through the Lehman College channel on tuninradio.com and the TuneIn app. The reporting and work on the Bronx Journal is created by the students of Lehman College. We'd love to know what you think. Drop us a note at info@thebronxjournal.com or visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Lehman Journalism. We're extremely proud of the student journalists who make all of this happen. We also want to thank our partners at BronxNet for their critical role in supporting the journalistic mission of journalism and media programming at Lehman College. I'd also like to express my thanks to all of the professors who work so hard with the students, who also work very hard to make these programs possible. Until we see you again next season in the new year, I'm Jim Carney. Thanks for watching.
We built a media network for you.
BronxNet TV.
Come learn in your new state-of-the-art studios at Lehman College.
At Mercy College.
And coming soon to the South Bronx in the Hub.
Inspire with your stories, culture, history.
Your Bronx on BronxNet.
Engage with us.
Connect with us at your channels and at BronxNet.tv.
Learn, engage, inspire. BronxNet TV.
From the Bronx
to the world.
BronxNet.
From the north to the south to the west to the east, we are expanding our services and upgrading technology at Lehman College. And now, Bronxites have an innovative media production facility in the East Bronx at Mercy College in the Hutch Metro Center. The windows on the East Bronx studio, a state-of-the-art control room, media labs for production and training, and other media-capable spaces. Training, workforce development, leading-edge technology, and programs that help you share your ideas, your voice, on your channels, locally and globally. Build media and technology skills at BronxNet and build your dreams.
Well, I got this as a paid internship. Spending my time here, I really enjoyed the people that work here. I enjoy what goes on behind the scenes.
So far, I've learned how to operate a camera, how to host. I learned how to control audio.
My first time hosting was really nerve-wracking, but I really enjoyed it because it was a new experience